Three, two, one. Hey, it's Wild Josh from Geek-Cetera, and I'm joined by Chase, Ezra, and Tommy. And tonight, we're going to talk about Star Wars: The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 7, The Believer. Let's get geeky. So right away, hey, nice Funko. I like that. Is that your first Funko?
It is. One of my friends bought it for me when I got a promotion at work as a
Nice.
congrats gift. So now I've got a little
That's
Mando
awesome.
on my desk.
That is awesome. And as Luke just said in our chat, this is the way. It is the way.
You don't want to do a shout
I love
out?
Funko.
I'm just kidding.
So what'd you guys think of this episode?
I'm confused.
I liked it a lot.
You're confused about the episode?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I've had, with every episode, don't get me wrong, I love The Mandalorian. This is my favorite TV show. But there are some things that just slightly confuse me about the writing. Because in the previous episode, the child gets taken. See, now you'd think, all right, everything is going to start happening real quick because Mando is not going to want the child to be out of his sight for very long. We don't know what Moff Gideon's plan is. It could be dangerous. It could be life-threatening to the kid. But they had time for arts and crafts to stop and repaint Boba's armor, which looked fantastic. But, like, why are you wasting your time? Like, this seems like a pretty urgent
Right.
urgent
thing.
This up to autopilot.
Yeah. I mean, there's times where you're just,
I don't know.
you know, and ships just go in straight lines, so you can just
I
let it do its thing.
loved the episode, and I loved Boba's armor. It looked so good. I'm just confused, about their priorities right now.
I thought it was interesting too, though. It was like super nicely done, but there was still some like chips in it. Like, what happened in painting it? How did he get those chips?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
He touched it when it was still wet.
Okay.
You'd never want to do that.
He was painting it while it was on autopilot. He didn't have a lot of time. Things happened, and there are just new chips in it.
Yeah.
It looked great, though.
It looked better than it's ever looked.
It's when I saw that, I was like, yes! And then I was confused, but it looks so good.
And I haven't watched a single video like this, but I've seen a bunch of videos that are just like, why Boba painted his armor this time and not all the other times? It's like, okay, well, why do you paint your house every 2 years instead of like every 5 days? You know, it's because it's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it comes to a point where like it's so badly damaged that you need to repaint it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like in Empire, it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it had chips and dings in it from use. So what is he gonna repaint it after every time he has a job? Like, really?
Right.
Like, that's the answer. It's not like some like thing that you got to make a 5-minute video about. Like, it's so dumb. I just thought that was dumb. It's like, why are you even questioning that? Like, because it didn't need it.
Yeah.
I'll definitely give you that. Like, yeah, when it came out of the Sarlacc, it needed a paint job after that. It was looking rough. So
sitting in all those stomach acids decaying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree that it needed the paint job. I was just confused about the priorities. But other than that,
I like that he missed a spot in the dent.
I think,
a little
yeah.
Silver.
Did he? I didn't even notice.
I think so. I could be wrong.
I think he did, and I think that it's kind of intentional because I think that that kind of battle scarring means something. And I still think that's the helmet that his father was killed in.
Yeah, it could be.
I think
the armor definitely came from his father.
Yeah, so I still think, and I'm pretty sure that that's the dent that he got when he was trampled by, like, the space rhino thing.
The reek?
Yeah.
I thought that came
the
from
Mudhorn?
No.
It kind of looked like a Mudhorn.
The other space, the less woolly space rhino.
I'm being silly. No, he painted in the dent.
Yeah, the dent's painted.
Okay.
Yeah, I see a picture.
Maybe it was just glare.
But you can see, like, spots where it's kind of got, like, there's no paint.
So Luke in the chat said it was destroyed in the Clone Wars, to which I will say, no, it was not.
No, because it's made out of Beskar. I'm sorry, an explosion just doesn't kill it. That's just
bomb trap in the crash ship. No, it was not, Luke. That was a different helmet because it didn't have the dent at all.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Go rewatch that episode.
Okay. All right.
I will say that Django had two different jetpacks, so he could have had spare armor.
So let's get to.
Luke's saying it did.
And I only watched this episode once. I did not get to watch it twice. But what did you guys think of the inclusion of Migs Mayfeld?
I originally was not excited about it, but they did a good job.
I love that character so much.
I liked the growth we got in that character this week.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, he was very hateable in the first time we got to know him, right? This, you kind of almost feel for him a little bit, which is interesting, feeling for kind of a bad guy.
Yeah, one thing I think this series does a really good job at is those small characters get a lot of character development. Like, even you've seen a bit of character, you've definitely seen with Grief Karga, with Kara, and now with Mayfeld. Like, he's a small character, you're not going to see him that much, but it helps the characters feel real.
Yeah, I will agree with that. So yeah, I'm trying to think of the big exciting things. It really kind of all culminated till the end, for me anyways. Like, yeah, they're on that Juggernaut thing, and they're riding it. That was a really cool ship, by the way. I mean, awesome. It looked, I don't know if that was all CGI. It looked like it probably was, but it was like spot on CGI. It looked so good. And the idea of like trying to contend with the heat of the shipment that they were moving.
Yeah.
And then fighting on the top, that was so cool. That was just like, it was awesome fighting. It was like hands-on, like gritty fighting. It was cool.
And I love the choreography and the fact that when like Mando tries to block it with his shoulder because he's used to having a Beskar padding, and it just shatters, and he's like, "Oh, I felt that one." I thought it was really well done.
I definitely have to ask you, Chase, what your thoughts were, because you were like, "There's no way he's taking off his armor." Last week.
The first thing I said in our Discord, as soon as I wasn't even finished watching the episode, I just put, "Boo! I hate it when other people are right."
Because you're like, no way, he's not taking off his armor.
And
he took it off.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Josh and Joa have absolutely nailed this season, and I have failed every single call out. I'm like, no, they're not doing this. No, they're not doing that. No, they're not. And you and Joa have been like 1 for 1 on correct guesses. I'm just like, all right. At some point, I need to start hitting on these.
Double down.
I was right about the Bo-Katan thing, and I'm just good. I don't.
Yeah, Ezra's gotten something. I'm the only.
So I felt, I know. Not only did we get him in different armor, but we got something later in this episode too that I was like, yes, called it again. But so we're still in the Juggernaut, and that fight sequence was awesome. I'm like, how many more guys are they gonna just send? Like, when are they just? And at the end, when they all just like start igniting turning on their thermal detonators, I'm like, how is he gonna get out of this? And then TIE fighters. That was awesome. That was awesome.
I like seeing the type of troopers that were introduced in Rogue One. The like shore troopers.
I love the shore troopers. They look so cool.
They look so cool.
I was a little surprised, and my wife was too, that Mayfeld kept his helmet off, didn't put it back on, even when they went in to interact with the rest of the people. And he was nervous about that guy. It's like, well, just put your stupid helmet on. He's not gonna know who you are.
But then he like brazenly went up to him, and the guy didn't recognize him. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
why are you so afraid of going to that terminal? But then you're not afraid of encountering him later to defend Mando.
Thinking back to the sequel trilogy, and I think it was in Force Awakens where Finn has his helmet off, and Phasma says something to him like, "Put your helmet on, trooper." Right?
Yeah, I remember this.
It made me think, especially if I'm kind of on the well, we know that what was the group of Mandos that he was with? Death Watch. They were more in line with the Imperials. I think that the armor is one of Maul's Mandos. So I'm wondering if that's where the keeping your helmet on thing comes from. Is the Empire side of like, you don't show your face, you're just a number, you keep your helmet on, you stay in line. Whereas the other Mandalorians are the opposite. They're more individuals, they stick to their clans, and that's not necessarily as important to them.
Well, I
So,
think Bo-Katan said that the Watchers did like the like ancient Mandalorian customs,
oh, is it the okay, where they just
like
leave their mask on all the time?
the first
Yeah.
Mandalorians. Whereas Death Watch was they wanted to
They want to go back to the old ways, I guess, right?
they were
And the
but like
traditions.
relatively old ways because
Yeah.
Mandalore was like pacifist during the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah.
Django's helmet in Clone Wars has a dent.
It does. Yeah, Luke said that a while ago
The
in the
one
chat.
the one that explodes. And I was under the impression that it survived.
I just don't like how strong do they want to make Beskar, because I feel like it shouldn't have blown up.
I feel like
I don't know.
I feel like it survives. I don't think he has another helmet.
I don't understand, why does he intentionally dent the helmet in the same exact spot then if it doesn't if it
I think it's the same helmet is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah.
Maybe it was rebuilt, but
think
you
it's
don't see any like rebuilt mines, like any spot where it would have cracked. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe because it's painted over.
He sanded it really good, you know.
Yeah, still I feel like there'd be something, but
Whereas like Rex's helmet, right, where he has those weld
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
He didn't paint that. The
Yeah.
Durasteel or Plasteel, whatever the heck it's made out of,
Durasteel,
is white.
yeah.
You know, because
That's weird.
it's like mixed with plastic basically. I think
Yeah.
it's like some sort of
yeah.
like alloy with a synthetic material like plastic, so it's
It's not that
naturally
strong.
white. So that's why it has those weld marks, because it's not painted over, right? But I think maybe he potentially could have broken apart, potentially could have been welded together, and he could have painted over it.
Maybe. That's
I
possible.
don't really know, because I don't
Luke
think it really
says
says.
ceramic alloy.
Yeah.
Whatever
I
it was,
think he
it
might-
wasn't that strong because I mean those Gaddafi stick strikes.
Well,
from
and as
Burma
Cracked
were
them, yeah.
They're just like destroying them.
and it breaks like plastic, and that's not a
Yeah.
mistake in the prop department. It's because that's basically what it's made out of.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy to send your soldiers in the battle with plastic armor.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I have been arguing too. It's like if they had so
put
much
on his
money,
Halloween costume and go fight.
Yeah.
Go fight those
but it's
Jedi.
more of an intimidation tactic than it is.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't. I mean, like, and I've argued this many times. Like, why does blaster bolts go right through it? It's armor.
Yeah.
Like, it
I
doesn't
guess it's
protect
more
them
for
from
like
anything.
glancing blows, maybe can
Yeah.
be kind of deflect, but
But I just like I
Straight
don't
arm.
understand why certain blaster bolts kill and don't kill, because if you think about it, Rex was shot in the Clone Wars series by a sniper commando droid,
Mhm.
like dead center of his chest,
Mm.
and he survives. But then you see all these other like random clones that get shot like in their
Yeah.
shoulder and they're dead, and
Okay.
you're like, what?
Because Chase, he's got
you know
Plot
the
armor.
answer to this.
He's
Plot
got-
armor.
He's got another set of armor he's
It's
wearing.
the plot armor. I know, but I don't
No,
get it.
I agree.
Uh,
Also, like,
So-
it costs time and money. This is unfortunate because this is people's lives we're talking about. But it
They're
does
close.
cost time and money to repair people, and especially from blaster shots like that. And Rex is a captain, and
Yeah.
he has many experience. So
Many experience.
he deserves more money and time to be fixed. Apparently, you know what I mean?
Or he had like reinforced Durasteel.
Maybe.
I think maybe what they could argue is he did always have that like shoulder set that like comes down.
Yeah.
So like
Forgot
that
about
could have. I just don't understand. Yeah. Anyway, this is way off topic. I'm sorry.
Well, it's still Mandalorian. We're talking differences between armor types, right?
Yeah.
And
And plot
I don't know.
armor. And the
So-
plot armor that Mando wore in this episode.
Yeah.
As opposed
So
to his
it-
best car.
As we move along in the story of the episode, we get the Juggernaut being the only one that survives the trek that day, which we find out later. And all those troopers like cheering for him. That was kind of cool. I thought that was really neat. Like to see the camaraderie
Hmm.
of the troops. They're not they're not. I mean, just mindless soldiers. They are individuals, and I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
a neat thing.
my wife was like actually confused about that scene. It was really funny, and I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense, right? And the whole episode is kind of like painting. Well, Mayfield is trying to say that neither side is good or bad. They're they're both kind of
Mhm.
bad. You know what I mean? And that kind of paints a great picture. Like
His everybody's the same speech.
yeah, exactly. And like the bad guys celebrate when they do bad things because they think it's good, and the good guys celebrate when they do things because they think it's good. You know what I mean? Like it's just how it is.
Mhm.
Like from their point of view, they're doing the right thing. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it helps reinforce that point that he was trying to make.
Yeah.
We've never really seen that side of the Empire before.
You're right. Yeah, we're getting to see it in this, which is cool. Oh, and I forgot. This goes back. I should have rewatched the episode, but the starting planet that they were on is like a junkyard,
Mhm.
and they had that
Yeah.
like AT that had like the
Mhm.
crane on it again and stuff. Was that
Mhm.
the planet that Fallen Order starts out on?
That's what I was thinking too. There's a
I was
couple
wondering.
junk
Could be.
planets in Star
I'm gonna
Wars.
say no. And the only reason I'm gonna say no is because that planet was a scrapper planet. This seems like a prison planet.
Yeah, it
Because
does. But they were almost wearing similar. Wasn't he wearing like a jumpsuit in it?
And-
Mm.
At the very beginning, was that orange one though, or was it yellow?
I think it was yellow, but still, I feel like there's probably, and there are numerous battles, and so these kind of scrapyards could be everywhere at this point in the galaxy.
Hmm.
And like you see Rey
Yeah.
scavenging on Jakku,
Jakku.
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
salvaging one ship. So when they're still in these junkyards where there's all this kind of garbage, I don't know.
It's entirely possible
It,
though.
it it's possible it's the same
They're-
planet. And hey, if you
Or
want, go ahead.
I was gonna say
Sorry.
that the prison is on a different planet because, like, in real life, people they truck prisoners to like highways to clean up the side of the road.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this reminded me of. Maybe
Yeah.
they just put them on a transport ship and shipped them over.
I was
there.
thinking similar, Ezra, as to that why it could be the same planet though, because like the same thing is sometimes it's prison labor that cleans up the side of highways, but sometimes it's like the highway crew that's cleaning up the highways. So like it could be like they have a area or a crew of prisoners that do help do that work, but there's also people that are hired to do that work,
Mhm.
that do the job. So that's why I was kind of like, well, it could be the same planet or it could be a completely different planet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
Oh,
I wasn't
there you go.
disagreeing
Luke,
with you. I
Luke,
was
put your
kind
answer
of-
in the chat. The something something.
It was the
Chop fields.
Carthon chop fields he was put on. What was the beginning planet in?
I couldn't tell you.
Uh,
I could tell you it was a great game though. And if you want to use that, if you want to say they're the same planet and use that as your connection, like a small Easter egg for bringing Cal Kestis in as the Jedi that was called, I'm fine with that.
so I guess the planet in Fallen Order is called Braca.
Braca, yes.
So it might not be this. It doesn't seem
Yeah.
like it's necessarily the same planet. Although the Carthon chop fields is definitely not a planet. It's part of a
Chop
planet.
fields, yeah.
maybe
but-
it's Carthon. Is the planet.
Carthon. What do I call it?
No.
Char-
I mean,
Oh,
Yeah.
is there a
Planet.
planet called Carthon in Star Wars?
that's what I'm saying. Maybe I mean, it could be a new planet too. It could just be called Carthon, and these are the chop fields on Carthon.
Yeah.
Carthon chop fields is what comes up when I put Carthon on. So yeah, Wikipedia usually knows, and it seems like it's new to this Mandalorian episode.
yeah.
So
They're always making new
Cool.
planets though.
Mhm.
yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah. Anyways, I thought that was kind of neat though to get that there are planets like that. I mean, I guess we knew that because of Jakku, but so yeah. Let's move along to they're in the base. He's worried about going into that room to use that. And the whole story of this episode is basically they're trying to get to this terminal where they can determine where Moff Gideon is hiding out. So he goes in, he takes his helmet off. The Mando takes his helmet off. We got another one. Ching. But that was just the way they portrayed him with his helmet off was kind of comical. Like so
he did not
awkward.
know
It's
what to
always
do.
disheveled.
Like he couldn't even like speak English because his
Yeah.
helmet was off. It was like all of a sudden like he forgot everything.
I
Yep.
can just imagine like Pedro being like, all right, so I get to act without my helmet on this one time, and you're gonna make me do this. Like,
Yeah.
I get to sit there and say nothing. That's great. Gee, thanks.
So there's been Star Wars fans that have pieced together from the map where he's going. There's some different theories. Do you guys have any theories where they're going? I guess we can get to that after, where they're going next. That's kind of what we do last. But there's some theories out there as to where they may be headed. But this character comes over. His name is Valen Hess. Is the character that comes over to talk to him, who's like this Imperial, I don't know, officer or whatever. Yeah. I thought
Creepy dude.
Valen Hess was a neat name, and not to spoil anything for Chase because he's playing Star Wars: The Old Republic right now, and so is Ezra, I guess. But there's a character later on whose name is Valen. That is kind of a main character. So I thought it was interesting that they chose the name Valen Hess, and I was wondering if it was maybe a nod to that, but not,
Yeah.
just like a
Easter
kind
egg.
of a minor thing. Yeah, exactly. But that was, to me, this whole episode could have been that interaction between the three of them sitting at that table. That was so awesome. It was. I'm like, I looked at my wife. I said, he's gonna do something really bad. Like, I thought he was gonna die. I thought he was gonna basically like go out with a blaze of glory right there, because he had that look in his eyes, like, oh, this isn't gonna go good. Like, but I thought it was really cool Easter egg that they talked about Operation Cinder. Did you catch that?
Mhm.
And that's a callback to the Aftermath series, an operation that took place after Palpatine's death, and tons and tons of Imperials were killed. So I thought that was a really cool tie out to that. So,
and you actually get to play through Operation Cinder in Battlefront 2.
Right. Yeah.
The new one.
So that was really cool that they tied into that a little bit. And then he takes out that agent. And that whole escape scene was awesome. Firing under the windows, like at each other and stuff, like as they're walking along that sill, and just like
It kind of did. It make you
was
think
so
of
cool.
A New Hope, that scene where you get the stormtroopers like trying to crawl underneath the door to shoot at Luke and Leia.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So Tommy, did you play Battlefront 2, the campaign mode?
I haven't finished it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
How far did you get?
I got to the part where you're Han Solo on
Okay.
Takodana.
So then you should know what the Operation Cinder is, right?
I think
Weren't they like
I think they talked about it. I don't think I've seen it yet.
blowing up planets for no reason, or like
Yeah.
so, or maybe not blowing them up, but like completely
Decimating
obliterating everything on them. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So that was cool though that they tied in Cinder.
Yeah.
Just to make it more cohesive, like the stories are all intertwining that they've told throughout several different medias now.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they haven't talked about the Battle Jakku in the Mandalorian at all.
Well, that hasn't happened yet, I don't think.
It hasn't.
Because those
I thought that
When did
happened
the battle-
after, like a year after Endor, but I could be wrong.
Where's Brett tonight? He's usually our resident. Okay, so Battle of Jakku did take 5 years after the Battle of Yavin. After the Battle of Yavin, so that was only 1 year, 4 days after the Battle of Endor. So it did happen. Battle of Jakku has happened.
Okay.
Yep.
Weird.
Yeah, you're right. They haven't talked about that. They could have talked about that too, as to being something that made him upset. But I guess that was more of a straightforward battle than like a just trying to destroy your own forces for some weird reason. So
yeah.
So where does it end off? They kind of all regroup.
it ends off with a very iconic quote for this entire series now. So Mando repeating back to Moff Gideon the words that Moff Gideon said to him in season 1.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. So before that, they let Migs go, which was cool. I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of a funny way they did it. Like, oh, it's too bad that Mayfeld died in that and didn't make it out. And
Yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna go. Like,
Yeah, he's going back.
I
to
feel
Space
like
Boston.
when they said that, I think he's
Boston.
used to the Empire in that way, where like when they first say that, I think you can kind of see fear on his face. Like I think he did a good job acting it. Like, oh yeah, too bad he died, and I think he was expecting to be shot and like killed on the spot,
yeah, right.
because that was how the Empire operated. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a shame
Yeah,
that he
you're
died. Bang, like.
Yeah.
So I think when he was like allowed to go, he was like, I can go. Okay, if you're gonna let me, I'm just gonna head out that way then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, that was cool. But you're right.
Yeah.
Then it goes to the threat from, which was awesome.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh man, that is so cool that he's just like using the same words, saying the same stuff,
Mhm.
and you can kind of see like Moff Gideon's so pompous. I don't know that I would call it like fear, but there's a little bit of fear
Mhm.
in his eyes as to like you're gonna come after me. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
almost like I don't know what I'd call it. If it was fear, because he's so like he must think like, oh, you don't stand a chance. Because look at the way he came after him in season 1, where he's like, when he was in that building trapped, he's just like, we're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Get out. So where are they going in the last episode of the season? I hate even saying that it's the last episode of the season because
Yeah.
do you realize we're not getting season 3 until Christmas
I
of
don't
next
want
year?
to hear it.
Yeah.
Somebody at work
So-
mentioned that to me the other day, and I'm like, please tell me you're lying. And I'm like, I know you're not, but please tell me you are.
Yeah, that's true. And it's so bizarre. Like, there's got to be a reason why it's coming then. Something is happening before then that they have to have it happen then. Because it's been October every time. And
I
then all of a
think it's
sudden, like,
just
no, next year's
Hawkeye.
Christmas.
I think it's just the
It's
tons
literally Hawkeye.
I think it's just
joking.
all of the other content, because we're getting a
Maybe.
lot of Star Wars and a lot of Marvel content all coming out. So
Hawkeye's release date is late 2021, so it's
Oh, really?
probably
Yeah,
scheduled after
think you're
Hawkeye.
right.
Yep,
Yeah,
which is great for me.
that's great for me too. I'm excited for that.
so you're saying
Yeah.
you would rather have Hawkeye than Mando?
Ooh.
I mean, we already have.
No, I-
That's
I
what you
think
just
so.
said. That is very
No, I
much
don't-
what...
No, I think that is what I'm implying here.
Oh, man.
I don't know. What do you think, Tommy?
I mean, we have 2 seasons of Mando already. We don't have any seasons of Hawkeye.
So,
Oh, my
so,
So at this point,
Haw-
you could wait for another season, for another year for Hawkeye, and not be missing out on anything. But you know they're gonna leave us on a cliffhanger in the season 2, and you're gonna have to wait more than a year.
thing is, though, Chase,
for our live
there's
streams,
so,
this works out pretty good.
there's
If we only
so-
go one at a time.
Yeah, that's definitely true. There's so much content coming out that like I'm gonna be so distracted in between now and next Christmas that it's
Yeah.
not even gonna matter. I feel like if they did more than one show a week, and I'm sure at some point they will, it's just gonna be so much A to cover on the show,
Yeah.
and B for me to actually watch. I'm gonna have to take
One
so
a
much
week is
time
good.
out of my video game like schedule.
I know it's true.
Reading schedule.
Already this
I
past episode, I was like, do I want to watch it Friday night? Because I really want to play Star Wars. And
Like
then- yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but like I don't have cable. I don't watch television.
Mhm.
I watch movies. And like
Yeah.
The Mandalorian is the only television show that is currently on that I'm keeping up with. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just what I spend my weekend or my weekday nights on is like playing video games because like I don't know. So it's just weird to me. Like if we had TV again, it's like going back to when I was like really young and used to actually watch like television every night instead of play video games. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
No, I agree. I think the only thing I keep up with is The Mandalorian right now. I have other shows that I DVR and watch when I get free time, but I never like have to watch them when they come out. Like
Yeah, and like
know?
I'm rewatching DS9 right now, but like while I play video games.
Yeah.
So it's
that's
just
how
different.
I do a lot of
The-
TV watching too.
the way I consume The
Multitask.
Mandalorian is so much different from like other television shows that I watch because like I usually put them on in the background and not really pay attention to them. But like the Mandalorian, I sit down and I like pay attention.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
so it's just different. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that from what I see that's coming from Marvel all in 2021, I'm probably going to consume it the same way.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
But we're going to get Bad Batch in 2021.
Hmm.
So that'll be overlapping with something.
I almost feel like they have to overlap some things, but I kind of feel like maybe they don't want to overlap the Mando at all.
Yeah, I'm sure
We're
they
getting
don't.
we're getting
Could-
the
Visions too, right? We're getting Visions.
WandaVision.
yeah, but in the Bad Batch we're getting the bounty hunter lady from
Fennec
who's
Shand.
friends with Boba.
Yeah.
It appears so.
Yeah, it looks like it, which is cool.
So
No, but
that's
we're
some
getting
overlap.
also that new Star Wars thing called Visions. Star Wars Visions.
Yeah,
The
Oh.
anime
that's
thing.
this year.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's coming first. I think that's even before Bad Batch.
That's cool.
Man,
Yeah.
all right. So when we need to do a coverage on Star Wars, like or Disney, what's it called? Investor Day, because like they release so much stuff that like I didn't even know about all of it.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
true.
So next
So-
Monday we'll be doing our Mando finale stream. Monday after that we'll probably be talking about the Marvel side of Disney Investor Day, and the Monday after that will probably be the Star Wars side of Disney Investor Day. So
Yeah, I
if you
think you're
do
right.
enjoy any of this conversation, be sure to check us out Mondays at 7 o'clock for the stream.
Yes.
Yeah,
Live
and
stream.
it's at some point too. I want to get Tommy on here for a pre-recorded video and talk about the Hawkeye rumors and stuff that we've been getting. So
Cool.
stay tuned for that.
So let's talk about where we're going. Last
Yeah.
episode, a lot of the theories of all of them that I heard, there's two things I don't know that I'm going to be right on, but I got to make. I've been on a hot streak. I got to ride that hot streak. I'm going to double down. I'm going to say that Moff Gideon is on Nar Shaddaa. Hot take number one, and number two, Ezra is going to show up. Not Ezra, our Ezra. Ezra.
If
as in
Ezra
Bridger.
shows up and he's been holding it a secret from us this entire time, and we still only have 200 subscribers from him, no, I'm still banking on Cal Kestis. I'm hoping that that's the one thing I've said this entire season that ends up being true. Nar Shaddaa is an interesting bet, and I don't have anything to refute that, but I don't have any proof for it
that's
either.
interesting.
So you're saying Nar Shaddaa is where we're going to fight Moff Gideon?
That's where he's going to be. I don't know if his ship's around it, or I don't know if he's on the planet, but we're going to Nar Shaddaa.
Okay, because I
We're
definitely think
going
we're
to
going
Space
back.
Vegas.
I definitely think we're going back to the planet with the rocks and the big thing, because like that's
To
where the
Tython?
beacon.
Python?
Yeah, because like that's where the beacon was sent out, so that's where the Jedi would go. I really feel like, and I feel like the beacon was like more or less interrupted when they took the kid. So I think,
No.
I
Because he
guess
had
you're
already
right, too.
passed out. That's why they were
Yeah,
able
I
to
guess
take
you're
him.
right. So I feel like we got to go back there though to find the Jedi. I feel like we do.
So I'm trying to remember exactly how Ahsoka said it would work, but it sounded more like they'd be tied to Grogu's life force rather than to the beacon. So it made it sound like he will find
Yeah,
you,
you might be right.
not he'll show up on
Maybe-
Tython, wait for him to be there.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay, but I wanted to counter Josh's other point there about Ezra Bridger, because like I feel like we're not gonna get Ezra Bridger, and I'll tell you why. Because I think that we're gonna get him in the Ahsoka series,
Yeah.
and I feel like the Ahsoka series is where we're gonna be looking for Thrawn/Ezra, not this series. And I really do think it's gonna be Cal Kestis, because I feel like that's the only other one that we could meet. I mean, unless Mark Hamill shows up, but like I don't think that'll happen. I
Sebastian
think it's
Stan.
gonna be.
I think we're going to get it.
Okay,
him-
yeah,
I
or
think we're
Sebastian
going to get him
Stan.
in this, and I
Mhm.
think he's going to be played by Rahul Kohli.
Yeah, Rahul is full of crap, though. I feel like.
I think there's something on going with it.
I mean, he keeps saying stuff, but like he can say stuff all he wants. I feel like the actual actors that have showed up in this TV show have not said anything because they
You
have a
can
very
say
strict.
that.
Well, and
But
you've
they have
also
a
had
very
Moff Gideon
strict
saying he's force
NDA.
sensitive, and
You
we
can
have yet
say
to prove that.
But was it a surprise who played Ahsoka?
No.
No, we knew Rosario Dawson was gonna do it.
But did we
Was
also
it a
know that
surprise
because it
who
was
played
basically
Bo-Katan?
But we didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
As
we
you
didn't
knew.
know that. I mean, I knew, but I'm awesome.
a genius? How much do we know Rosario Dawson though? Because we knew there was an Ahsoka series coming that she was confirmed for. It's like
I don't think anything was
I don't think. I don't.
Was it?
So
Ahsoka
Okay.
until this Investor Day.
did Dawson go on Twitter and say, like, I'm gonna be Ahsoka in The Mandalorian? Because
No,
that's
I
what
think they
because
can-
that's what
they can-
Rahul is doing. There's no
Yeah.
confirmation anywhere other than from his Twitter account, and you can post
think-
whatever you want on Twitter, unless you're an actual actor with an NDA, and then you can't.
I think the casting came out and it had like Tamura Morrison and Rosario Dawson, and then
Mhm.
people assumed that Rosario Dawson was Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
And I don't think she said one way or the other unless she had specific permission to
Right,
do so.
yeah.
I don't
Hey.
think Rahul
Yeah,
is playing Ezra. I think
I've been right. I've been right.
Yeah.
I've been wrong. But I'm making a bold prediction.
no,
Let's-
and
I wanna
and
go-
That's fair.
I want to go off on a brief side note. Tommy said Morrison. Josh, do you want to talk about what you posted in the chat the other day? Because I liked half of that.
Half of
Right.
it. That was almost a compliment.
I'm just
So-
not. I'm not
Half
sold
a
on the
compliment.
Cody bit, but go ahead.
Okay. So, well, I have a reason. I got to go back to where I was. Okay, yeah. So, I believe that where was my theory? I lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay.
No.
That Tamora Morrison in Kenobi is going to play Cody, but it's
I
not
would like
Cody. I think it's going to be Cody the Jedi Hunter.
Oh no.
I think he has teamed up
I mean-
with Vader and is hunting down Jedi.
Cody has already failed once, so I
So-
don't think he would succeed. Especially, we have proof that. So if this happens, he's failed twice. That means he's not very good.
So I think we're going to get Tamora Morrison in Ahsoka as Rex.
I love
As
that
old
one.
Grandpa
That
Rex,
is
that would be-
fantastic.
That would be great. I would.
And
love
I
that,
think we're
yes.
going to get in Rangers of the New Republic Tamora Morrison as Wolf.
I like Wolf as well, so I'm also down with that. So I guess I like technically 2/3 of what you've said.
I would like to ask a question.
You can ask.
What legion was Cody in?
212.
Yeah, 212.
Okay. And what legion went on to be Vader's fist?
501st.
501st, yeah.
I doubt we'll see Cody as Vader's personal
Yeah.
Jedi hunting guy.
I think it would be cool.
Unless he joins the 501st.
Yeah.
But seeing as he's like the commander of the 212,
I think he could be his own, like, at this point, he could be, like, platoonless. He's just Cody is now hunting down Jedi for Vader.
Maybe.
So you're saying that he has
Maybe-
more qualification to hunt Jedi than, I don't know, what are those dark
Inquisitors?
troopers? Well, I was getting
Purge
there.
Troopers?
Okay.
The Purge Troopers.
I'm just giving you a
And
theory.
you think he's got
I
more
think-
qualification than the Inquisitors?
Can we mark this
could
one
be.
so that if it happens, we can come back and be like, what is Ezra saying?
I
could be
don't
that
think we'd
Cody-
see Cody, but
I think it could be Cody replaced Rex for Vader's fist.
I
Maybe.
don't really see that one
To-
because
to-
Cody was definitely Obi-Wan's. Like each Jedi kind of had their like personal attachment to their number one. So
Right.
I think when Anakin gets betrayed by Rex, I would consider that a betrayal. I don't think that he would have the same emotional connection to any other clone trooper at that point. And
So the more you talk about it, the more I like it. So Cody was more with Obi-Wan. So Cody is going to feel betrayed by Obi-Wan.
Oh,
So-
my God.
He could use Cody to track down and hunt down Obi-Wan.
There you go.
All right, maybe. But
But how would Vader know that Obi-Wan's alive? They make it seem like in A New Hope he didn't know that he's alive until he's on the Death Star.
I mean, it would be crazy if they have Hayden Christensen back as Darth Vader, and there's no kind of face-off with Obi-Wan.
I was always
Somewhere.
thinking that it ends up being more like flashback type stuff with Hayden Christensen. Because you can put anybody in that suit. You don't need to pay Hayden Christensen. Not that he'd probably be very expensive, but I feel like this is the reason you're buying his face is because you're buying him pre-helmet.
Yeah, I kind of agree
Or
with
in
that.
like a back to tank.
I want to go back now because there was something
Yeah.
that was said when it on Disney Plus is
I love how much we've been talking
Twitter.
about the Mando on our Mando stream.
I know
Star
that's true.
Wars.
Okay, it is Star Wars, but we're gonna get there. But there was something that was said. Here it is. No, this isn't the one. Okay, anyways.
Okay.
I
So
have a
that's
theory
my
what planet.
big thing is Nar Shaddaa and Ezra Bridger as played by Rahul Kohli, and the reason that I believe it's Nar Shaddaa is because of the space map and the location to where it looked on the Star Wars space map.
I don't disagree with Nar Shaddaa. Like, that's definitely possible.
Yeah, I'm fine with Space Vegas.
I think my theory is they're going to the planet Mandalore.
Ooh,
I
isn't
would
that
like that.
destroyed?
No.
Yeah,
What?
I could see them going to the ruins of Mandalore.
It's fractured. It's like cut in two or something, right? Mandalore.
Or no, that's Concordan. Like the planet that's
yeah,
like
you might be right.
full of debris. Yeah, that's different. And then the moon on Mandalore is Concordia or something.
Conquer Dawn. Oh no, it's Concordia.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I think the Jedi that's being attracted to the beacon isn't going to be revealed until like the very last scene of the episode.
Oh, so it is gonna be like Mark Hamill then.
I think so.
Really?
They're gonna be a throwaway character
someone.
at the beginning of season 3.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes!
There was a-
no,
there was a-
no, seriously. So like, this is what's gonna happen, right? At the end of the episode, he's just gonna be standing at the top, like, you know, like looking down, right?
He's gonna
And then
take the
there-
child and yeet the
Yes!
child off a cliff.
You
Bro,
guys
what?
are crazy.
Don't want that thing.
I don't. Yeah, no. That's basically what Ahsoka did. She's like, "Yeah, I'll take it." No, I really don't take. I didn't mean it.
What if
I'm
there
all
was a
about that
theory-
obligation-free life.
there was a theory that it was going to be Mace Windu, and I could see
well,
him showing up.
That was
I could see him.
Star Wars theory, right?
Oh, was it?
I think so. Yeah.
I saw it around a
So
lot.
Star Wars theory doesn't have any good theories, Josh.
Yeah,
No.
Are you
I
just
don't like
calling him out right now?
it. Yes.
but it would be interesting if Mace Windu shows up and Boba Fett immediately shoots him.
Oh my
'cause he
goodness.
hates Mace Windu.
That's a real throwaway right there.
So then the baby goes right back to.
I mean, they
So-
they threw Darth Maul down that shaft thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Who's to say Mace Windu didn't survive, right?
He totally most likely did. I want to talk about something that Luke sent us is rumors that Pedro Pascal does not come back. Apparently these rumors are still going. And that it's kind of Tamara Morrison taking over as the Mandalorian and Boba Fett
I was
becomes the
thinking
new
the same
feature
thing.
of the show and Mando dies in the season finale,
Interesting.
which I don't like. I love Mando as a character.
Yeah.
Din Djarin is cool. And
I would say that if that happened, that would be another thing I was right on. So I'm gonna
believe
take
so,
that.
yeah.
I like it because
Yeah,
I did say that I thought
don't,
that
but-
that he could die.
yeah.
I thought that he could sacrifice himself to save the child.
So I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be wild, huh? That'd be a wild. That would be a wild next Monday. I'll tell you.
I wonder what their viewership would look like for a third season if they made that kind of change.
Well, that would just be the Boba Fett show that everyone wanted for
Yeah,
forever.
that's kind of what I'm
Which is-
thinking.
The
And
Boba Fett show that
like
Ezra wanted.
we've seen, like, it's not uncommon of TV shows that after a few seasons you kind of kill off like one of the main characters, but the only main character we have in this show is Mando.
And
I guess Mando and Child.
And the
And I
child.
feel like you can't really kill them off this early and then switch and give the show a new main character.
They did kill the Razor Crest.
Tommy, why do you hurt me in this way?
I was thinking that since they destroyed the Razor Crest, that Mando's just gonna hang out with Boba Fett for the rest of the series in the Slave One,
Yeah.
which
And
I'm
then
100% down
die.
for.
And then
Yeah, or start a new Mandalorian civilization with Bo-Katan and Boba.
Todd says that Pedro Pascal is greater than Tamora Morrison.
Yeah,
I think
I
he's
agree.
probably got a lot of people that would agree with that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, I got him. I got to agree with you, Todd. He said his stars on the rise. I have him basically in everything coming out in the near future. So if he really is in all four of those things, or three of them, he'd be four if it was the Mandalorian's the fourth. But anyways, all right. Any Ezra, Chase, you've heard our theories for the last episode. What are you guys thinking?
I'm thinking that we probably don't get. I think was it Ezra who said this. We don't get as the Jedi until like the last scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be true.
I was
That could be true.
also wrong. I said that we weren't getting Ahsoka until the end of an episode, and then they open up the episode with her lightsabers, and I'm just like, okay, I'm fine being wrong here. But I think that
I love that.
they're probably gonna leave the Jedi. I don't know what the encounter is gonna look like between Mando and Moff Gideon. I'm still expecting the Beskar spear versus Darksaber encounter.
I think that has
Yeah.
to happen.
I think that's kind of why they set it up, because I feel like if you're going in with dude with Beskar spear and a Jedi against dude with just Darksaber, the Jedi and the Beskar are gonna win, unless you're really showing that Moff Gideon is an Inquisitor and Force sensitive. That's the only way he's gonna stack up against a Jedi and a Mandalorian. But
So you
So
think?
you think that we're getting Ahsoka in this final season?
No.
Or final episode?
no,
No,
Okay.
he's saying
think-
so.
Oh,
so you,
the Jedi that's coming.
yeah,
Okay.
well,
Do you think
I think we're getting-
Bo-Katan's gonna come?
yeah.
for the
Yeah, I
final?
think we're getting Ahsoka and Bo-Katan.
I don't think we're getting any Ahsoka, because I think Ahsoka is off on her quest to find Thrawn now. I don't really see them bringing her back.
Yeah.
We know that Bo-Katan has a grudge to settle with Moff Gideon,
Yeah.
and
Right.
so her
Yeah.
and her creed of Mandos, however many she can gather. I think this is going to be like a full-on like revitalization of the Mandalorian versus Empire war. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a whole lot of Mandos in this final episode against
Have we
the
just-
remnants of the Empire.
I just thought of something. What if Ahsoka has a change of thought, or change of heart, I should say, not thought. She's the one that goes to show up on Tython, discovers that everything's gone, and finds out what happens, and then joins the fight to try to
Yeah.
protect the
And
child.
then brings
I
Grogu back in
doubt
time
it.
to become Yoda. I'm fine with that.
I doubt it, because I think I know why specifically she didn't want to take the child, and it's the same. So the route that she's taking, the path that she's taking, is a little bit more dangerous than just being a Jedi, right? It's being a
Yeah.
gray Jedi. It's a
Mhm.
little
Right.
bit more on like. So I think starting the child off later in life on this path is the thing that scared her. I think that she thinks it would be better to train this child as a Jedi than as
Yeah.
whatever she is. You know what I mean?
It was the
So
connection
I-
with the Mando that scared her.
So
with the
I
child.
Yeah.
I think she wants him to actually go to a real Jedi
Mhm.
to be trained and not be trained by her. And I don't think she's going to change her mind on that.
She knows that Oh no, Yoda's not alive anymore.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Or is he? Just
He
much younger.
disappeared.
Just much, much younger.
Oh yeah, okay. So is that everyone's theories? I mean, maybe we'll all
Yeah, I
be
think
wrong or right. I don't know. We'll see. So, I mean, we can't all be right,
Yeah.
but
Or we could all be wrong though. That's entirely
we can
possible.
definitely all be wrong.
Josh,
So-
a question for you.
Yeah.
Who is directing this episode?
Oh,
You usually
I'm just-
happen to
I
know that,
usually
so-
know that. Yeah, I should have done my homework.
I'm guessing Favreau.
I was
I'm
gonna say
just
if you
scared-
go ahead. Sorry, Ez.
I'm just scared because I'm agreeing with Chase on this episode.
That you're guaranteed to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you tell me that it's Filoni or Favreau, I'm setting my alarm clock for stupid early.
Yeah.
All right,
still
let's
3-1?
see. And they might not tell us because they didn't last time.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't say.
It doesn't
Does
say.
Did we get
say.
a Taika Waititi episode?
No, we have not
No.
yet.
So maybe
We
he's
got
doing the
Bryce
finale
Dallas
again.
But he is. But
Yeah.
he has been working on his own thing, so he might not
Okay.
be doing any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Poor Ryan
Yeah.
Johnson. He didn't get anything yet.
Thank goodness.
So, all right. So that's pretty much it. I think we're gonna be so excited next week.
It's so sad it's the last
And,
one.
Mm.
Could
so-
be the series finale.
You gotta subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you'll know next week when we have our season finale live stream for the Mandalorian, and I'm sure we'll have so much to talk about. It's gonna be a really long episode, but thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon. And until next time, I'm just saying, somewhere, someone in the galaxy is ruling, and others are being ruled.
He means more to me than you will ever know.
If you're asking if you can trust me, you cannot.